So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the Malian Armed Forces official platform, they actually said that they captured some territories today and they were able to liberate some elements in their hideouts. And some of the loot that they recovered was actually very, very surprising. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch this video. Now, critically, in one of the settlements that they liberated, one of the things they captured, like some of the things, they actually captured some AK-47, they captured some armaments, different type of armament, and they captured some very large amounts of ammunition. And the most surprising thing was the amount of condom that was actually found, in that particular encounter. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have been asking the question that what are these people doing with this lactose, because we have to get something very clear. These people, some of them are not even Malians, some of them are not even Burkinabe, some of them are not even Niger. They are from either Libya, Sudan, Mauritania, Algeria, Nigeria. They're from different parts, and their families are not there. So it begs the question, what are they doing with this massive amount? And that is just a few elements were neutralized and they saw this amount of things. So most of the time when they bombard the settlement and they neutralize the men, they neutralize the boys, they neutralize the male kids, what is left to them is the women, and they don't really have a cadre of women that they don't, so that's why you see them with this type of stuff, and some of them don't even use it at all. So these are just barbarians, and the best way to deal with these people is to neutralize them. So it questions the integrity of any state that claims to be a sovereign state. It questions a lot the integrity of that state. If you are given some sort of deal, you are making deals, you are cutting deals with this element, your integrity as a state and as the leadership of that state, your integrity is under serious query. Now we have the commander of the CAFSAT's Malagasyan Armed Forces, the elite unit. He actually came out and, in an interview with the French media RFI, and he actually delivered something that looked like declaring they were in full control already.
I want to read a formal statement clearly saying that we are officially taking power as of today, this very moment, and we are dissolving starting today the Senate, the High Court of Cassation and Justice, the High Court of Justice, and the High Court of Constitutional Disputes and Electoral Disputes. And the Senate. That's it. The National Assembly, we let it work, continue to.
This refers to the effort or activity involved in achieving a purpose or result, often requiring mental or physical exertion.
What we're going to do is set up a committee, or rather a council, and this council will be made up of army and gendarmerie officers. I don't know, maybe there will be some civilian advisors in there over time. That's what we're going to set up.
So from this moment on, you have taken power.
We have taken power. That's the presidential palace.
And like I said earlier, it looks as if this man is the face of Madagascar as we speak, and the citizens are very, very excited about it. And now, in a sort of counter-information, counter-offensive, the France 24 actually launched something that looked like a propaganda, to try to weather the whole thing, bring in the ex-president of Madagascar, who came in through a coup d'etat, bringing him into the frame and try to, posture him as if he's trying to assert control. But
on social media, Andry Rajoelina rules out any resignation and calls for respect for the constitution.
If we cross the line, believe me, we will fall into even greater poverty. We will be lost, and as a nation, we will suffer from stunted growth.
The Malagasy president says he is in a safe place after an assassination attempt without giving further details about his location. Earlier this Monday, our colleagues at RFI reported his departure from the country. He is said to have first used a helicopter to leave the capital and reach Sainte-Marie Island in the east, before taking a French military plane to Réunion, then on to another destination. This extraction was reportedly allowed by Emmanuel Macron to prevent bloodshed. When questioned about this, the French president did not confirm the information.
I think it is very important that constitutional order and institutional continuity are preserved in Madagascar. And alongside that, I want to say here, as everywhere, that we look at the youth of these countries with great admiration and affection.
In the streets of Antananarivo, young people are celebrating Andry Rajoelina's departure to the beat of drums, whistles, and trumpets.
It's as if we're reliving Madagascar's independence for a second time. You can really feel that it's festive. You feel that we are now free. Not really free, totally free, but you feel that we're no longer as oppressed, as repressed as before.
According to the UN, around 20 protesters have been killed since the movement began on September 25th. They were originally protesting against repeated water and electricity cuts in a country already hit by poverty.
For everything that the Madagascan, ex-president is saying, this is what I would say. The Madagascan president tried to dismiss the state's House of Assembly. The CAPSAT is saying that the House of Assembly will remain. Now, the Madagascan ex-president wanted to retain the Senate. The CAPSAT is saying the Senate should be dismissed with immediate effect. Look, what I've discovered is that if you look at the expression on those soldiers' face, it seems as if they've been able to reach a point where they feel like the Senate is seriously compromised. And, they are now the new representative of Madagascar. And I feel like the Madagascan people love them. You can see from even the France 24 propaganda interview, the only Madagascan citizen they actually interviewed. You can see what she said. People should understand it is not the leaders of the people of Africa that are demanding this change. It is the people themselves. So any type of revolution that is happening anyway, it is the people's revolution, okay? The people just decide whoever represents them. But the people are the one demanding everything like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? Now, in the region of Seno in Burkina Faso, now, in the Bani district in Burkina Faso, belongs to the Seno province. Now, there is a chief, a commander-in-chief in that region, who is now going to be leaving. He has served his time, he has been transferred. And the people of Seno the people of Bani, they were so excited. They loved him. They really appreciated his time. You could see the jubilation on their faces. They celebrated him.
Let the lie out of now. Let the lie out of now. Let the lie. Let the lie.
And according to the information we have, a new commander-in-chief will be sent to the Sahel province, specifically the Bani district. According to the information we had, he actually worked very well with the VDP, with the citizens, with the BIR, and even with the JNIMs. So now, good men, they don't stay too long. But we hope the next person coming will actually put in work that will really, really make him loved, just the way this man is loved and celebrated by the citizens of the Bani district. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most unbiased American blogger, in my own opinion, some say he's a politician, Jackson Inku. I like everything about him. In terms, he's so unbiased, he's very honest, and he stands on the right path. Like, the more I've seen of him, he's a very, very good person. These are still some of the dying breeds of the honest ones you can still find in America. He actually visited Burkina Faso, and he has actually dropped so many videos. He has even met with the foreign minister of Burkina Faso, and I know before he leaves, he will probably meet with Ibrahim Traore and give us a very good podcast, which we'll bring to you when he does. But for now, he has some things to say about Burkina Faso.
Here in Burkina Faso, at the Grand Mosque in Ouagadougou, as you can see behind me, it is immaculate. It blends European architecture and local Sahelian architecture. It's actually made out of mud blocks, if you can believe it. It's pretty incredible. The country of Burkina Faso has a Muslim population of about 64%. 26% of the public in Burkina Faso is Christian, in addition to the roughly 10% of the public that ascribes to the local traditional religions of the people here. One thing I've noticed since I've been here is that the United States and France, the Dutch, they're all trying to stifle the fight for sovereignty in Burkina Faso. And part of the way in which they're doing that is through attacking religious groups. In particular, in the north of Burkina Faso, they're using extremist groups that are funded and armed by the United States and by the French to try and create division in the country amongst religious sects. If you follow the BBC or French publications, they constantly lie about Burkina Faso because their revolutionary leader, Ibrahim Traore, guided by the people of Burkina Faso, are leading their country to a new free path. What I can see here is that there is religious harmony amongst Muslims, amongst Christians, amongst the 10% who are Orthodox followers of their local religions and their traditional religions and faiths here. And the efforts by the West to try and sow this division will inevitably fail. And those extremists do not represent any sort of local faith or ideology. These are exported by the West to create division and to try and reinstall Western control in the Sahel region. They will fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, if an American citizen can say this, do you still have a doubt? So now, you can see that, this is an existential struggle. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, Aluta continua Victoria Santa. We are being confronted by the forces of neocolonialism. And the truth is, we won't go anywhere. We will be here. That is it. We have to be here. It is only honorable to fight for the motherland. That is it. So running is not the answer. Fighting is the answer. So that the ones that are coming after us will remember who we were and how fiercely we fought, just like the Sahelian people are fighting, the Madagascan people are fighting. And remember, in every time, in every era, there are always saboteurs, the internal saboteurs that are equally citizens of that country that behave as if they don't carry the DNA of their ancestors. They don't carry the DNA of the people of that place. So always understand that these people are always available and don't get manipulated by this type of people. There are people that benefit some way, somehow from the corruption and all of that. They prefer to keep people down and remain afloat than to try to make everybody rise. But you know, we do great things by rising together. For the Madagascar president, the truth is, you don't have a better defense than the trust of the people. When the people trust you, when you are doing the will of the people, that is your first defense line. If you don't have that, you don't even have any defense at all. Now, I have to say this before I go. I really love what is going on right now in Africa, and I want to appreciate everybody for their support, for their help in every way, through the like, through the comment. You know, you all keep coming back. YouTube keeps sending me notification that the people in the Android community, you know, they are very, very loyal in the sense that they come back. I know part of that is based on our detailed journalism and the truth we bring out here. 70% to 80% keep coming back for our information. It shows that there's a lot of credibility here. But you know, for the rich to not have blown through the roof, you know what it is. So, but YouTube has offered to assist. I received a mail. They have offered to assist in some way by getting a personal YouTube assistant. They said something like that. So, guys, that is where we're at right now. So I just said I should keep you all updated on what is going on. Thank you for watching and God bless you. Salute.